Hey everyone, welcome back to ACC Women's Soccer Roundup. So, this is my final episode of the three-part preview of all the ACC women's college soccer teams. So, if you missed the first 11 teams, head to link in my bio and watch the first two parts. Today, we're going to be going over the top 6 teams in the ACC coaches poll, starting off with UVA. So, UVA came in at 6 in the coaches poll, and that is the lowest spot to qualify for the ACC playoffs. Virginia's schedule the last 2 years shows most games in the top third and bottom third of finishers. 2024 was particularly tough, where they had to play all 6 playoff teams, and they did not qualify for the playoffs in 2024. 2025 was a much more balanced schedule for them. Now, looking forward to 2026, their schedule also looks more balanced. Virginia was a fun team to watch in 2025. I thought they were as talented as any team, and they had a legitimate chance to win it all last year. 4 players from the team are now playing professionally. Midfielder and second leading scorer Leah Godfrey, and defenders Lainey Ross and Kiki Mackey are all based in the U.S. And forward and leading goal scorer Maggie Cagle is now playing in Europe. The Cavaliers' outlook for 2026 is a bit uncertain with these big losses, so they need to reload after losing elite talent. Speaking of top-level talent, the Cavs lost 60% of their goals from 2025. Their top-drawer 10th-ranked portal class will give them some relief, though. They signed proven goal scorer Giovanni Canali from the University of Miami. Reese Mattern from the University of Tennessee will also provide some depth. Their 26th-ranked incoming freshman class includes the 39th-ranked player, midfielder Kendall Schuller. That will help, but it's hard to see the Cavaliers being the dynamic offensive team that they were last season. Returners and attacking contributors Addison Halpern, Allie Ross, and Ella Carter will need to step up their production as well for them to have a successful season. Their losses on defense were significant as well. 2-year starter and transfer from Cincinnati, Faith Browring, will bring some welcome experience to the team. And defender Mackenzie Mize is the top drawer, 71st ranked incoming freshman. 2 others in their freshman class are listed as defenders. They'll need to get up to speed quickly. But there is good news. The second-team ACC goalkeeper, Victoria Safferton, is returning for another year. There are going to be some challenges and growing pains for UVA this season. We'll see quickly if the newcomers can fill big shoes and if the returners can take a step forward in their development. On to our next team and the 5th rated in the ACC coaches poll this season, UNC. Looking at their schedules the past year, UNC's 2024 schedule was fairly balanced, but their 2025 schedule not so much. They played all of the bottom 7 finishers. However, with the rotation of teams, 2026 is shaping up to be quite difficult. They play all 6 playoff teams from last year and 10 out of the top 11 teams they could play since they can't play themselves. That's a lot. But after the incoming freshman recruiting haul they just had, I can tell you how many coaches will feel sorry playing them this year. In 2025, UNC finished uncharacteristically out of place in the ACC playoffs, coming in at 7. They've certainly made an effort to turn around quickly with key signings in the portal and the aforementioned freshman class. They're definitely going to need to add some offense quickly. They lose over 70% of their goals and over 60% of their assists. 3 players now in the NWSL are a big part of those departing goals: Linda Olmark, Kate Fossey, and Olivia Thomas. Fortunately, the hit isn't as hard in overall playing time as UNC returned 64% of the 2025 minutes played. So, what did the Tar Heels do to upgrade their offense? Let's look at their top drawer 4th-ranked portal class. Midfielder Summer Dunnigan from Georgia is a proven scorer with a ton of experience. She scored 11 goals for the Bulldogs last season. Midfielder Lilia Blum led Utah last season with 4 goals and will give the Heels some solid depth. Their top drawer soccer 1st-ranked freshman class will give an immediate boost on offense as well. 4 of their top 5 recruits are attacking players. 7th-ranked Scotland Antonucci, 9th-ranked Celie Strong, 15th-ranked Deuce Stanislaus, and 22nd-ranked Amari Manning. They have more well-rated recruits, but I only have so much time. The Heels also didn't ignore their defense. Transfer portal add defender Izzy Stratton was 2nd team All-Midwest region at BYU, and from personal experience, she's a great defender. From their exceptional freshman group, they add top drawers 12th-rated Kaylee O'Neill and 36th-rated Peyton Manning, a keeper. Other top drawer-rated freshmen include midfielder and 64th-ranked Ella Martinez, forward and 74th-ranked Samantha Rich, and midfielder and 84th-ranked Maggie Curry. But it's not as if the cupboard was completely bare for UNC. Defender Hope Munson made the All-ACC freshman team. Bella Debbie accounted for 5 goals and 4 assists as a freshman. Bella Gatino, Avon Alvarez, and Ashley Penny will also be key players for the Heels in 2026 as well. The Heels also return all 3 keepers who saw time last year. It should be a fun year to watch all that talent come together in Chapel Hill. Next up, we have defending national champions FSU in 4th place in the ACC coaches poll. In the first 2 years of ACC 17, FSU has had an easier than average schedule in 2024 and a much more difficult schedule in 2025, playing 8 of the top 10 teams that they could play. Their 2026 schedule looks reasonably balanced based on 2025 finishes, but we'll see. Looking back, FSU has won 3 of the past 5 national championships. The last two were bookended by Jordan Dudley's first season and her last season. 2026 is going to be different. For the first time in 3 years, teams won't have to face Jordan Dudley, the Honda Award winner and Herman finalist, impacted the game like no other player did at FSU in her final 2 years playing in the midfield. That's saying a lot, as FSU has had many high-level players over the years. So, what is the first year without Dudley going to look like? Here's a hint. It won't help much if you memorize the players from last year's team. They lost a lot. FSU only returned 5 players who played more than 750 minutes last season. Stanford and North Carolina had 9, Duke had 10. The Noles had 10 players who went pro. 4 players in the backline are now in the NWSL: Heather Gilchrist, Mimi Van Zetten, Cameron Simmons, and keeper Evan Austin. Attackers Dudley, Taylor Suarez, Salai Washington, and Una McCormack are in the NWSL, while Jimenez and Gianna Riley are playing professionally in Mexico. How on earth are they going to replace all that talent? Well, they hit the portal hard. They easily ranked first in Top Drawer Soccer's portal recruiting class. The portal haul is as follows. Forwards: Nia Rose from SMU, a U20 Canadian World Cup player with full national team appearance. Anaya Robinson from Tennessee represented the Canadian U17 and Jamaican U20 teams. Ashley Henderson from Memphis had 23 goals and 13 assists in 3 years and was named 2025 American Conference Offensive Player of the Year. And Tanner Strickland from Kentucky started 21 of 21 matches last year, recording 2 goals and 7 assists, and was named to the All-SEC third team. Now onto their midfielders. Samantha Erbach from Xavier scored 29 goals and had 21 assists in 2 seasons with Xavier, and she was named Big East Midfielder of the Year in 2025 and was second in points in Division I last year. Now, Joelle Jung from Stanford, one of my best friends, scored 8 goals and recorded 14 assists in 3 years, helping Stanford to 3 College Cup appearances, and she was named All Pac-12 Freshman Team in 2023. Now onto the defenders. Grace Hoytek from Kentucky started all 56 games of her collegiate career so far and was named All-SEC second team last year. Olivia Page from Kansas started 25 out of 25 games last year for Kansas. And keeper Savannah Dixon from Gardner-Webb started in 18 games in 2025, recording 110 saves. Their freshman class was ranked number 23 by Top Drawer Soccer and includes 2 ranked players: 33rd ranked Ryder Ajeto, a forward, and 83rd ranked Rihanna Dill, a defender. So, their keeper depth is looking good with returning starter Katie O'Keene and experienced portal lad Dixon. Returning back line players with experience are Iron Woman and leading minutes player from 2025, Jana Okeke, and Claire Rain, who is back from injury. But with just 2 incoming defenders from the portal, experience on defense is light. They will look to their freshman class or possibly one of their experienced midfielders for depth. It will be challenging, though, to adequately fill the boots of Gilchrist or Van Zetten. SFU, though, is deep in experienced attacking players. In addition to the 6 from the portal, top goal scorer and NCAA tournament MVP Rihanna Hudson is back. So is forward Jaden McGrew after putting in over 1,000 minutes as a freshman. FSU has no shortage of talent, and Coach Penske will have some fun putting together all the pieces into a cohesive unit. There are so many moving parts, so I can't really get a feel for how it's going to look, but I'm projecting another title contender. We'll see. Now on to another team I've played a few times in my college career, Duke. They came in at number 3 in the ACC coaches poll this year. Looking at Duke's schedule the first 2 years, their 2024 schedule was tougher than average. They didn't play any of the bottom 3 teams, and 2025 schedule was easier than average. Looking at their 2026 schedule, it is shaping up to be just as difficult as their 2024 schedule. Now, Duke has put together back-to-back Final Four appearances. While I can attest that it is never satisfying losing in the College Cup, making it there is quite an accomplishment. So hats off to Duke. Does 2024 have another path that leads to the College Cup for the Blue Devils? Let's take a look. I believe the biggest challenge for Duke will be replacing their attacking players who moved on. My current teammate, Devin Lynch, Kat Rader, Karina Legere, and Farrah Walters are all pros in the U.S. now. Duke loses 47% of their goals from 2025, but they still have threats. The Mias return, Oliero, a 16-point scorer, and first-team All-ACC Minestrella, their top scorer with 18 goals. All-ACC freshman Avery O'Dare is back after a 16-point freshman season as well. And the Blue Devils picked up 2 big additions in their portal class that Top Drawer ranks 3rd in the country. Forward, Katie Shea Collins from South Carolina with 23 goals and 8 assists in the prior 2 seasons. And midfielder Samantha Courtright from Texas Tech, all Big 12 first team, who had 9 goals and 15 assists over 2 seasons. Their Top Drawer 16th ranked freshman class also includes 3 ranked attackers. Midfielder/forward Riley McLanahan is ranked 6th. Midfielder Natalie Chudowski is 33rd. And forward Sophia Nunez is 131st. Duke had a formidable attack last year, but to get to the same level, some returners will need to make the next step in their development. And they'll need significant contributions from their newcomers and a freshman or 2. But you can see a path for them. On the backline and keeper, they lose no one. Things look promising for Duke. They may need to lock down the defense a bit better this season, as replicating their scoring output isn't a given. But they are positioned to do so with all their returning players. Another College Cup appearance isn't at all out of the question for the Blue Devils in 2026. Now, on to my alma mater, Stanford. So, the defending ACC regular season and ACC tournament champion Stanford were ranked second in the ACC poll this year. Looking at Stanford's schedule, its first year in the ACC was pretty balanced, while 2025 was considerably easier than average. Their 2026 schedule also looks pretty balanced, but could be tougher than average. Looking back at the past few years, Stanford has made it to the College Cup for the past 3 years. They are the only women's soccer team to do so. But they've come home without a title. So let's preview the 2026 version of Stanford and see what challenges they'll need to overcome to get back to the Cup and bring it home this time. In 2025, Stanford had a ridiculous 9 players who had at least 13 points. They had 7 players who had 20 or more points. That's a scoring that is almost on the level of the Katarina Macario, Sophia Smith, and Naomi Girma-led 2019 National Championship team run. But they're going to lose almost 70% of their 2025 points, as 6 of those 9 players are gone. 4 of them are in the NWSL, with Andrea, Shay, Elise, and me gone. So where will the goals come from this year? They still have significant firepower remaining, with incredible players Charlotte Kohler, who had 12 goals and 17 assists last season, and Eleanor Klinger, an England U20 international with 8 goals and 8 assists. They also got a great addition from the portal, winger/9 Bella Wynn, Big Ten Freshman of the Year and second team All-Big Ten in 2025. She led UCLA with 8 goals last season. From Top Drawer Soccer's second-ranked incoming freshman class, the Cardinals add the 19th-ranked prospect forward Peyton Marinos, 25th-ranked prospect Ella Kroll, and 2 more freshman attacking prospects. On defense, they lost ACC Defensive Player of the Year Elise Evans, but they have several high-level players returning, including US U20 national team representatives, defender Lizzie Boama, midfielder Elan Wen, and Caroline Burkle, who was also first-team All-ACC last year. Mia Buddha, a 2024 second-team All-ACC midfielder, will be back. Keeper Kaya Joda, who represents the England U20 national team. They are also returning sophomore Lily Freer, who carved out a starting spot on the defense last year. And they will be returning experienced players in Sophie Murdoch, Ella Emery, and Sammy Smith. Now, if you recognize Sammy Smith's name, it might also be for her incredible accomplishments going to this year's Winter Olympics in Milan. Congrats, Sammy. To this group, they had freshman London Young, Top Drawer's 8th-ranked prospect, Sadie Leal Schumann, the 47th-ranked prospect, and Kennedy Kelly, the 98th-ranked prospect. It's worth noting that with their 2 experienced keepers likely gone for the U Cup, Stanford brought in keeper Rihanna Stewart, a graduate transfer from Harvard, and a 2-time All-Ivy League second-team player. Stanford is not going to be short on talent this year. They might have to win a few games a bit differently than last year, but I wouldn't bet against them. And for our final team of the 3-part preview, we have Notre Dame. The ACC coaches have picked Notre Dame to win the conference this year. Looking at their last 2 years, Notre Dame's schedule was on the easier side in 2024 and slightly harder than average in 2025. Their 2026 schedule is shaping up to be a bit more difficult than 2025. But let's see how 2026 is looking for them. On defense, the Irish lose 2 significant players, Leah Klenke and Carolyn Calzada, who both signed in the NWSL. Abby Mills returns with plenty of experience under her belt, as is Claire Logan. Big Minute player Morgan Roy is listed as a defender in 2026 after having considerable success as a midfielder in 2025. From their Top Drawer Soccer 4th-ranked freshman class, they add 23rd-ranked Gracelyn Millum to their backline as well. They also returned their starting keeper, Sonoma Kasika, and added transfer keeper from Holy Cross, Madalena G, who was first-team All-CACC. The newcomers will have to step up quickly to keep the level that Notre Dame had on defense in 2025. On offense, they lose Lady Matriano to the pros in the Swedish League, but the Irish are loaded on offense. Leading the charge is ACC Offensive Player of the Year and Mackerman finalist Izzy Engel. They have first-team All-ACC Annabelle Chukwu, who is also a Canadian full national team regular, All-ACC freshman team Tessa Knapp, 7-goal scorer Ellie Hodson, 9-assist creator Grace Restovich, whose season was cut short by an injury or she probably would have had more assists, Charlie Codd with 12 points, and Morgan Roy with 15 points, but maybe seeing more time in the back this season. Did I mention that they were loaded on offense? And to add to that, Top Drawer's 27th, 30th, 40th, 43rd, and 135th ranked freshmen in order, forward Kate Kemmerly, midfielder Reese Canada, midfielder Charlie Syria, forward Bristol Kirsch, and midfielder Marley Adams. Notre Dame this year is a team with unfinished business. In 2025, the Irish were cruising through the ACC undefeated and untied through 8 games when they went into Wake Forest, a very tough place to play. They got up early with who else? Izzy Engel in the 17th minute, and a few minutes later, she twists her ankle and is forced to leave the game. They don't score again, and Wake Forest manages a goal, and the game ends 1-1. It was their first time in their 15-game season that they didn't score at least 2 goals. A few days later, on a chilly rainy night in Pittsburgh, with their star goal scorer and soon-to-be Herman finalist out of the lineup, they were shut out 1-0. Their season also ended unceremoniously against Ohio State 1-0 in overtime. They dominated the ball and outshot the Buckeyes 36-5. But pain is a great teacher and a great motivator. I expect Notre Dame to be highly motivated this season. Things can happen, injuries, bad luck, etc. But I'd be very surprised if Notre Dame wasn't back in the College Cup this year. Thanks again for tuning into the final part of the ACC previews for ACC Women's Soccer Roundup. If you missed the first two, head to the link in my bio for more. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am to watch the ACC teams kick off their seasons this week. Best of luck to all the teams competing and all the players, and let's watch some college soccer.